That's okay.
What do you think about this Academy of Mentalism?
Yeah, I think anything that can. I think a big problem with mentalism is that it's normally the most indulgent and can be the dullest form of magic. And I think anything where people are encouraged to think about things in terms of character and think about those sorts of performance issues seriously, I think has to be a very, very good thing. So it sounds like a great idea to me.
Second, how do you start building your character when you start actually?
Well, when I first got the TV stuff, I kind of thought, oh, I got so excited. Right, I need a thing. I should have a limp. Should I wear funny jewellery? I should have a diamond in my tooth. I started to kind of think I need some sort of affectation, and I think ultimately, I know it's an old boring thing to hear, but it has to just come from you. It has to be yourself, and then you just tweak yourself to kind of be more theatrically interesting, which means that there should be as many different types of mentalists as there are types of people. So if you're a kind of a cool skateboarding type, you should do mentalism in a cool skateboarding kind of way, and if you're a geeky, shy, nervous type, then you should go more towards a slightly kind of, is he autistic? Is he kind of, slightly, you should just embrace your own character. Unfortunately, because there are so few role models in mentalism, they just end up being sort of like 2-3 ways of doing it, that everybody just does the same thing, which is a shame, and it shouldn't be like that. So for me, it absolutely just became that it was just me, and as I sort of grew out of doing, I don't do a lot of, the stage show is different, but with the TV I don't do so much in the way of mentalism tricks anymore. So I feel like some of us sort of grew out of it a bit, so that meant that kind of what I actually find interesting, or what I really want to bring to, say, the TV stuff, comes from just stuff I find interesting now. So, and not any kind of thought about what a mentalist is supposed to do, it's just what I find interesting. And with the stage show, I then kind of think, well, I've got to entertain people for 3 hours, so it's got to be kind of fun, and it's got to be funny, as well as maybe a bit scary, or a bit something, so I kind of, I just make sure that all the different sides of me, I suppose, are kind of coming out in those different ways. But I don't think there's any real, you don't really build it, you just kind of, maybe you strip away the things that aren't interesting. So I don't tell some of the jokes I find funny because the audience would find them offensive or not funny. I don't do a lot of things I would do in real life. I just do some of the things that would be more theatrically interesting on that stage. I think if you try and build a character from scratch, I think it'd be very difficult to have any real longevity with that, because you might create this great act with a real sort of gimmick, a really kind of unusual, strange gimmick, which is fantastic. But I think if having longevity as a career, it has to resonate. People have to know that it's you and a real person. If you go and see a comic or an entertainer, you like them as much as the jokes. And if you want to follow them and you want to see them on TV for years, you've got to feel you like them. So I think, sorry, I waffle. I give very long answers, but I think that's really important. It has to be you, and people have to know that it's you that's seen.
Right. And what do you think will be the future of mentalism?
I don't know. In this country now, it's quite popular. It's sort of taken off a bit. When I first started doing it, there were 4 mentalists that I knew, and I wasn't even really a proper mentalist. I just did some mentalism. And now every sort of magician starting out kind of does mentalism. That's kind of the thing. So I think, hopefully, that will mean there'll suddenly be loads of different role models. Because with magic, you could probably name 20 magicians, and they all do magic in a different way. With mentalism, you kind of, you've got the psychic route, or you've got the sort of psychological route, and that's sort of it, isn't it? So hopefully, as more people do it, it'll just bring in more role models. A lot of girls are doing it now, which is kind of because they kind of, some of them have been fans of my show and they've kind of got into doing it, so that starts to sort of open up new things. So hopefully it'll just shake it all up a bit, and there'll be just interesting and more varied performances, and not just the same sort of thing over and over again. I don't think I do it in any original way at all. I think I kind of found a route which just kind of worked for me, and it would be just nice to see lots of different ways of doing it.